My name is Mark Nemeth. I'm a trout stream habitat specialist for the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources.
My name is Alex Roth. I'm the Land Conservation Program Director at Friends of the Mississippi River.
My name is Jansen Hang. I am the Executive Director and also a co-founder of the Hmong American Farmers Association, also known as HAFA. When the Hmong people came to the United States after the Vietnam War, because of the lack of skill set in this post-industrial society, many reverted back to the traditional practice and let alone their skill set, which is farming, to really create opportunities to sustain their families.
This land was purchased in 2013. This is the first public piece of property that had been purchased by the DNR on the south branch of the Vermillion River. And the land was initially purchased to allow anglers to access this land and enjoy the fishing. When we came to this land in 2013, the opportunity to fish on this land was really limited by invasive species along the river. There was a dense canopy of buckthorn. Not only was it impacting the fishing, it was also impacting the quality of the habitat.
We turned impenetrable walls of buckthorn, nothing growing in the understory, really poor habitat for wildlife, into a site that's now open with blooms and is teeming with life, with pollinators, with birds.
We met Jansen, they're the neighbors of the land, and it was just kind of natural to continue that partnership.
In 2014, the Hmong American Farmers Association had the opportunity to settle on this land, which is the HAFA farm, which is a 155-acre farm located just 20 minutes south of the Twin Cities metropolitan area.
Jansen and I spent about an hour and a half together talking about sustainable foraging, looking for ramps and morels, and by the end of the night, he was all in on the protection of this really special place.
I have this luxury of maybe a curse as well too, to kind of be the bridge between the two.
For Friends of the Mississippi River, Fishers and Farmers Partnership funding was hugely important in helping us pull off this project. It also allowed us to really connect that human element. We were able to use Fishers and Farmers Partnership funding to do landowner outreach to 170 priority landowners along the Vermillion River to teach them about conservation opportunities and options.
Working with partners, working with our neighbors, really brings some extra energy and some extra value to this land. Learning from each other adds value to what we can ultimately do here.
So out on the HAFA farm here, all of our farmers, 20 farming families here, we grow over 120 varieties of fruits, vegetables, and flowers. For a farmer, this is their livelihood. I need to build the soil health. I need to use cover crops here so that can enhance not just organic matter, but also increase fertility, natural fertilities here, back to my crops, so that I can have a fruitful season. I can bring it to the farmer's market and sell the most beautiful and biggest produce here.
After years of baseline data, when we started this restoration, we saw spikes in trout populations. It shows that there is a tangible link from healthy upland habitat to in-stream fish populations.
The trout population has responded to the habitat improvements. There's actually more trout in the stream. We see bird watchers in the morning. We see people just taking walks in the prairie, enjoying this land.
So when we create these diverse habitats, we start to see those increases in nesting bird populations. We start to see increases in pollinators. And then ultimately, all of those things drive increases in usership. So people want to come out and experience this space, whether it's to fish, whether it's to hunt, or whether it's just to see a successful restoration project in action. What we're doing is not an isolated occurrence, but is something that can spread and have even more benefits.
Truly, we couldn't have done this without partners. Learning from each other adds value to what we can ultimately do here. It's a place that our native wildlife or naturalized wildlife can exist and use this habitat.
Our world of farming and also conservation can coexist, as well as how they complement one another. We all do better when we all do better.